I wanted you to go home that night after you beat the living out of me. And guess what? I smiled right in your damn face. Why? Because I wanted you to feel worse than I did. You were going back to a cozy, soft bed while I was still out there grinding in the trenches, suffering for another 100 hours. I wanted you to think about me, about how I'm sitting out there in the cold, in the dark, and I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I wanted you to remember how bad you wanted to quit during Hell Week, how you were on the verge of breaking, knowing that I'm not built like that. Quitting ain't in my mind. Too many of us lean on others to get us through life. We're always waiting for someone to give us a hand. Fuck that. You need to build your own strength. You got to hold yourself accountable. And it ain't about being selfish. It's about becoming a better version of yourself. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you've got. I've said it before and I'll say it again. All the gadgets, the phones, the social media, that's all noise. When life punches you in the face, when you're dealing with depression, death, real hardship, none of that shit is going to help you. Your brain is all you got. You can have a therapist, you can have friends, but there's 24 hours in a day where it's just you and that brain. And if you don't control it, if you let it run wild and pull you in all kinds of directions, you're fucking done. You got to be the one to steer the ship. Tell your brain where you want to go, how you're going to get there, and then fucking take control. Because if you don't, life is going to eat you alive. You hear me? It's on you. Take control or it's game over. I'm out here trying to find more of myself, man. And the only way I can do that is by silencing all the noise this fucked up world throws at me. It's getting louder, busier, faster every damn day. And the faster it gets, the more you're losing who the hell you really are. So what do? I trap my own mind. I tell myself, put the phone down, cut the bullshit, go dark. And I do that a lot. I go dark because I'm on a mission. I'm on a journey. And let me tell you something, every one of us is on our own journey. It's different for all of us. I learned to find strength in the misery, man. When everyone around me is whining, crying, feeling sorry for themselves, I look around and think, this is where I fucking shine. I use that misery like fuel, stacking it up, turn it into pure drive. That's when I push harder, leave further. People see me grinding through hell and they say, damn, Goggins is still going. And then they fall in line. Misery can be your power if you know how to use it. I realized something along the way. If you can just hang on a little bit longer when shit gets tough, you'll end up pulling people with you. That's when I decided to enjoy the pain. Yeah, you heard me right. I enjoy it. When I was out there, I hit 70 miles and I was done. I thought I was at 100% tapped out. But somehow I went 31 more fucking miles. My body was breaking down. Everything hurt like hell. But sitting there in that tub after with the water hitting me, that was the greatest moment of my life. Yeah, I wanted to numb the pain, wanted someone to drug me up, but at the same time, I wanted to feel it. Because that pain meant something. It was proof that I did something most people would never even think about attempting. As crazy as it sounds, that suffering, it was beautiful. You have to create your own reality, man. That's where the accountability mirror comes in. It's where you face the no bullshit truth about who you really are. Where the fuck are you starting from? For me, I was lying to myself about everything. No courage, no self-esteem, no intelligence. I had nothing. But that was my starting point. And from there, I could build. But if you're bullshitting yourself saying you're strong, you're brave, you're smart, when you know damn well you're not, you're just pushing that starting line further back. The real power comes from facing the truth. No filters, no lies, just raw, ugly reality. And when you own it, when you put your life out there for the world to see, say, judge me, motherfuckers, I don't care, you unlock a whole new level of strength. The moment you're willing to talk about how fucked up you are, that weight you've been carrying starts to fall off. That's freedom, man. That's real power. That's why I don't hide from shit anymore. I'm like, hey man, you want the truth? I'll give it to you. I'm fucking tired of being scared. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of pretending I'm better than I really am. Back then, the only way out for me was death. That's it. If I died doing this shit, so be it. All these guys around me, they were beasts, stallions, gladiators. They were healthy, strong, unbroken. I was the broken one. But I told myself, if I can start the hardest training on this planet while I'm busted up and make it through, then I've just gone from the weakest motherfucker in the room to the hardest one to ever live. You can't even grasp that kind of mindset unless you've been there. Unless you've suffered a million times in your mind, knowing damn well that your legs might break, your knees might snap, your bones will scream in pain, and you'll be colder than you've ever been in your life, but you still say, bring it on. Here's the wild part. After 3 months of running on fucking stress fractures, they started healing. Why? Because when the mind and body sync up and you don't give yourself an out, The only exit is death. That's how I lived. Either I was going to become a Navy SEAL or I was going to die trying, period. My body got the memo and it was like, Roger that, we're getting through this. You ever look in someone's eyes when you're in the middle of a fight? You know that look when you've broken their ass, they're thinking, oh fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. And you're over here like, I can do this all fucking day. That's taking souls. It's about outlasting them, about having the heart, the guts, and the willpower to keep going. When you're wrecked, when you've got nothing left in the tank, that's when you fuel off of their defeat, off of their broken spirit, and it gives you all the energy you need. You can see it in their eyes. They're done, and you're just getting started. That's how you steal their soul. They don't want to go another round, and you're standing there like, shit, I could fight all fucking day. It's all about what you tell yourself. When I was getting beaten down physically, mentally, spiritually, it didn't matter. I kept telling myself, you can't hurt me. You can't fucking hurt me. That became my mantra, my way of pushing through every wall. I learned how to control my adrenaline, man. You know that fight or flight shit. I trained myself to get jacked up real quick, especially when the situation was brutal, when everyone else was miserable, falling apart. That's when I found my strength. While everyone's feeling sorry for themselves, I'm thinking, this is where I shine. I use that misery to fuel my drive to push myself and everyone around me. Because here's the truth, man, you can pull power from pain. When people see you thriving in that suffering, they're like, damn, Goggins is still going. All right, let's go. And that's when I realized if you can hold on just a little bit longer, push through just a bit more, you'll find that people will follow you. You'll lead them by your example. They'll start picking up their shit and moving forward because you showed them what's possible. You got to keep your mind open to the possibility that I can do this. The second you shut down that belief, the door slams shut. And there's no fucking way you're getting through it. That's why I come alive when I'm in this shit. Because I know if you're in a fight, you can't sit back and hope things work out. Hell no, you got to attack, and then you got to keep attacking. The enemy, whatever the fuck it is, needs to know that you ain't quitting. You got to break the damn soul of whatever's in front of you. That's the revelation I had. I was playing small, hitting things, but never breaking EM down. I had to find ways to completely break the soul of whatever was standing in my path, whether it was a person, a goal, an obstacle, didn't matter. If you keep swinging relentlessly, eventually, nothing wants to stand in front of you, nothing. You got to learn to love the fact that no one else wants to be where the fuck you are. Love it. It's got to light a fire inside you, spark some crazy ass passion. People don't understand that shit. When you're deep in the worst situation possible, and everyone's thinking, man, I hope this shit ends soon. And you look around and time just fucking slows down. Everyone's got that look in their eyes, God, I want to be here. That's when you come alive. Because that's when you know you're different. I started playing my own mind games. I bet these motherfuckers are looking at us, thinking about when they went through this shit themselves. Judging us, judging me. Thinking I was tougher than Goggins back then. And I'd be like, okay, you want to judge me? All right, motherfucker. Here's what I'm going to do to you. They want to tell you how you're supposed to feel. That you're supposed to be tired or broken, fuck that. I tell my crew, don't let these motherfuckers dictate how you feel. It's only day one. Hell, it's only hour one. Let's get after it. I was getting my boys fired up like we're going to take these motherfuckers' souls. When they put us through some so-called simple shit that had other guys struggling, I'd look at the instructors' faces and you could see it like somebody had just fucking ripped the life out of them. I turned to my guys and said, hey, guess what? We're living rent-free in their heads now. We own that space. They're going to be thinking about us all night. You feed off that. You take 1 second to steal everybody's energy, and suddenly you got all the power you need. You know that look in someone's eyes when you've broken them, when they're thinking, oh God, I don't want to go another round. That's when you know you own them. That's when you know you're unstoppable. You ever feel that moment when you're thinking, my God, I can fight all fucking day. I can go at this shit all day long. That's what taking souls is all about. But you got to have the willpower, the heart, the courage to push yourself that far when you're already fucking broken, when you've got nothing left in the tank, and then dig even deeper to find more. Back in the day, I'd always fix the easy shit, the surface level problems. If I couldn't read or write, I'd learn to. I'd check off all those basic boxes like that was going to solve it all. But then whenever some real hard shit came along, whenever life raised its ugly head, I didn't have a damn clue how to deal with it. I'd be like, man, I thought I fixed this already. But nah, man, I wasn't even close. I never went deep into the fucking dungeon of my own soul to face the real demons. I never asked myself, what's making you a quitter? Why are you so weak? What's got you scared? That's why I kept failing, kept quitting, kept going back to square one over and over again. That's why I always say I'm no fucking theorist. I didn't learn this shit from some textbook. I put myself in the fire over and over again like a sword. You heat that sword up in the fire, then you beat the living shit out to it. You keep repeating that process, and before long, you've got a weapon sharp, strong, ready to cut through anything. That's what I did to myself. I said, we can't quit, man. We got to get to the bottom of this. We got to figure out what the hell is wrong. So I kept plunging back into the flames, and I just kept beating that metal harder over and over until I started to notice something. I started realizing, damn, the brain's getting hard. The brain is toughening up. The mentality you got to have in this life is simple. No matter what the fuck is standing in your way, you still got to grind. Look, I ain't never going to be in the Olympics. I ain't never going to be some pro athlete. But that don't mean a damn thing, cause still I grind. I fail at most of the shit I try, but still I grind. There's days I don't want to do a damn thing, but still I grind. So if you ever see me running down some dark ass alley at 1 a.m., know one thing, I'm grinding. The truth is, most people don't know how to motivate themselves. They think they need music, some fucking hype track, like it's going to give them some magic energy before the big game. But what the fuck you going to do when the headphones come off, man, when it's just you and your own mind? That's when it gets real. That's the hard part most people don't want to face. But me, I know how to tap into that darkness. I know how to use it. Life forced me this way. I've been through it all. I stuttered. I struggled with reading and writing. I was fat. I was insecure. But I refused to live like that. I refused to live in fear, to let other people's judgment hold me back. Fuck what they think. I'm not afraid to face that shit head on. That's how you get stronger. That's how you stay hard. You start slacking on one thing, and before you know it, you're slacking on everything. That's how it happens. I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm training my ass off, I'm eating clean, you start neglecting even one of those, and it's a slippery slope. It's like dominoes, man. You don't notice it at first, but a few weeks go by, and suddenly you're thinking, damn, I haven't eaten right in a long fucking time. I haven't been sleeping worth a damn. That shit will haunt you. That's why I'm laser focused on my diet, my sleep, my discipline. The second I see myself drifting too far from the plan, it's a hard fucking stop. I ain't letting that slide. The thing that pisses me off the most nowadays, so many people go to the grave with untapped potential because they believe someone else was born better than them. They think they ain't got the right tools, the right skills, or the right genes. That's bullshit. You got to grind your ass down to nothing but dust and then find a way to build yourself back up from that fine powder over and over and over again. That's how you unlock the shit inside you. It's possible, but only if you're ready to suffer for it. I was born with zero self-esteem, man, fucking zero. That's why discipline was my lifeline. It takes nothing to be a loser. It takes zero effort, zero talent to sit back and be average. That's why I hold people to a higher standard, because I know how little it really takes to flip the switch. You don't need greatness to be a bad motherfucker. You don't need some God-given talent. You need to put in the work, period. You got to keep your mind open to the possibility that I can do this. The second you shut your mind off to that, you're done. Game over. That's why my eyes and my body light up about the grind, about the fight, because I know if you're in it, you can't sit back and wait. You got to attack, and then you got to keep attacking. You have to make whatever the fuck is in front of you realize that you ain't backing down. You got to break its soul, whether it's a person, a challenge, or some bullshit life's throwing at you. I used to hit hard, but I wasn't breaking shit. Then I started finding ways to destroy the soul of whatever was in my way, to make it realize it had no business standing in front of me. You keep attacking, keep swinging, and eventually nothing can stand against that kind of relentless fucking force, nothing. I'm that motherfucker who grinds in silence. I don't need to talk about it, I just do it. Every single day, no matter what, I'm out here putting in the work. I don't take a damn day off. First thing in the morning, you got to build that confidence. Every day you're either gaining confidence or you're losing it. You're never just staying the same. So how do you build that shit? By looking in the mirror and liking what you see. That's how you kick your day off right. But if you wake up and you look fat, you look out of shape, you're feeling like shit on the inside, it's a sign. You got to fix that. So here's the thing, man, get your ass up and move. Burn some damn calories, wake your body up, get that mind sharp. I run every day, I work out every day. A lot of people, they get this idea in their heads that there's some kind of finish line they're aiming for. Fuck that. My motto, I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. Usually I don't think about it. I just lace up my shoes and get out there. But lately, that little voice in my head's been whispering bullshit like, you're tired, man. I catch myself looking at my shoes, thinking about pushing back my run time. So I said, fuck it. I grabbed the tape recorder and recorded that voice. I put that shit on blast. If you're ever struggling, record that voice and ask yourself, what kind of little bitch are you letting yourself be right now? I ain't no fucking theorist, I'm a practitioner. I put myself in hell and dissect that shit while I'm burning. You can't learn a damn thing about yourself when everything's cozy at 72 degrees. You got to step into the fucking freezer and tear yourself apart while you're freezing. That's when your mind's screaming, I need to get out to here. But you got to say, no, 5 more seconds, motherfucker. 5 more seconds in the freezer. That's when you break down your limits. That's what I did to myself. I kept throwing myself back in the fire, beating the shit out to my mind and my body over and over. Before I knew it, this is what happened. I became a believer. And I know some people won't buy that because I swear like a sailor, but I don't give a shit. I believe in God big time. I've had this voice in my head since I was a kid, guiding me, pushing me to go harder, to dig deeper. That voice trained me, showed me how to build myself up from nothing. If you don't believe you're here for a reason, life's gonna fuck you up. You'll crumble under the weight of your own doubts. So find that voice inside you. Listen to it. And when shit gets tough, don't you dare back down. I started looking at my life like, all right, God, or whatever the hell you believe in, put me here to go through this shit for a damn reason. It wasn't just some random ass suffering. I see it now. I see all the lives I'm touching, all the motherfuckers I'm inspiring just because of the hell I went through. There's power in that. There's something real in that. So my purpose as I kept grinding through this journey changed. Instead of sitting around like, woe is me, I started thinking, all right, God, why the fuck me? What's the point of all this? But then it hit me, it's the perfect training ground. You knew exactly what you were doing, didn't you? You threw me in every damn situation possible just so I'd have a story to tell, one that needed to be told. People don't understand what that really means. When you're in the darkest pit, in the worst fucking place imaginable, and everyone around you is looking at the clock, begging for it to end, you feel time start to slow down. You can see it in their eyes. They're thinking, damn, I don't want to be here anymore. But that's when I started playing my own fucking games. I was like, all right, I bet these motherfuckers are looking at me, thinking about their own hell week, saying I was better than Goggins. Oh, you're going to judge me. You think you know what I'm about? Not my man. Fuck that. I decided I wasn't letting anybody tell me how the hell I was supposed to feel. It's day one, motherfucker. This is hour one. I got myself all jacked up. I looked around and said, we're about to take these motherfuckers' souls. So when they had us doing this so-called simple shit that was breaking down other guys, I took one look at the instructors' faces and you could see it. They were shook. It was like somebody had reached in and fucked with their souls. I turned to my boys and said, guess what? We own real estate in their heads now. We're renting space and we ain't leaving. They're going to think about us tonight, tomorrow. And every time they get soft, you start fueling off that knowing that it takes just a split second to snatch every bit of energy from the whole damn room. Once you see that weakness in their eyes, you know you've broken them. You ever fought someone and saw that look like, oh God, I don't want to step into that next round? That's when you know you can fight all day. That's taking souls right there. But understand this, it ain't for the weak. You got to have the will, the heart, and the fucking guts to keep going when you're completely wiped out. When you've got nothing left in the tank, that's when you dig deeper and give even more. That's how you break the enemy. That's how you own that space. Most of why all out here think you're grinding hard, but let me tell you something, you ain't even scratched the surface. You get up early for a couple of days and suddenly you think you've earned a damn medal. Newsflash, you ain't earned shit. You got to drop that entitled ass mindset. You think you're putting in the work, but trust me, you ain't. Most of us are cruising at 40% when we think we're going all out. You got to push way past what feels like your limit. And while you're at it, stop waiting around for someone else to come save you. Ain't nobody coming. Learn to help your damn self. And your mind, that shit's a medieval motherfucker. It's been around since the dawn of time, and it knows every single one of your weaknesses. It's sitting there in the shadows waiting to pounce the second you show a little doubt. The mind's the only thing that's undefeated in the history of the world. It always shows up on time, every time. It's got a tactical advantage over you. It knows your fears, your insecurities, every last bit of weakness. You better learn to know it just as well as it knows you. Otherwise, it's going to fucking own you. When you're near the end, that's when the real test starts. I remember during Hell Week, those instructors could sense the hope in the air. And that's when they pushed us even harder past the so-called endpoint. And guess what happened? Heads would drop, conversations would stop. And that's when I start taking souls. I could see it clear as day. They were living off the hope factor. They hoped the instructors would call it quits. They hoped the water wouldn't be freezing. They hoped the weather would hold. Hope ain't worth shit. I don't live off hope. I wish the water was colder. I wish the instructors kept running. I wish it rained. The real you shows up when the distance is unknown, when the end is nowhere in sight. That's when you find out who the fuck you are. Most people can't handle that. They fail because they're scared of what everybody else is thinking. That's the truth right there. I used to walk around putting everybody on a pedestal like they were better than me. Couldn't tell you shit about myself because I was too scared of being judged, too worried about feeling even worse than I already did. But you got to be ready for anything, anytime. Most people need some big ass event circled on the calendar to get motivated. Like that's the only way they can prepare for life's challenges. I'm telling you right now, every day is another test. Every single day. Today, I'm just minding my business, doing pull-ups, banging them out minute after minute, 5, 6, 7, 8 reps on the minute. Some guy steps up, wants to jump in. 30 minutes in, he's thinking we're almost done. We hit an hour and he's looking at me like, how many more can you do? I tell him, one more than you. You got to be ready to go to war at any given moment. Look, man, that's the problem. Most people are scared shitless to dive deep into their own lives, to face what made them who they are. We got all this bullshit in us, all these scars and broken pieces, and we're too damn scared to look at him. But that's where the magic is, man. That's what makes us beautiful. I'm fucked up in 100 different ways, but I figured out my own process to get unfucked. It ain't pretty, and it sure as hell ain't a straight line. While you might go from A to B, I'm zigzagging from C to D to E, getting there the hard way. That's how I train my mind embracing the chaos, because my road is different, and that's exactly how I want it. I used to be that person who wanted to be accepted, who wanted to fit in. I'd shape shift to be who everybody else needed me to be. You like something, damn, now I liked it too. I was just trying to get people to like me because I didn't like myself. But that shit's over. I stopped giving a fuck about what anybody thought. You got to be unapologetic about who the hell you are. If you're a hard motherfucker, then be a hard motherfucker. Own that shit. The journey ain't about making everybody understand you or pat you on the back. It's about grinding and building yourself into something better than you thought you could be. That means people are going to look at you like you're crazy. Like something is off. Let him, fuck him. You weren't put on this earth to fit in. Stay hard, be unapologetically you. And let me tell you something else, your disciplines. The shit you do every day that keeps you in check, they ain't optional. Your workouts, your diet, your mental game, it's all connected. Start slipping on one, and before you know it, everything's going to shit. You think it won't catch up with you, but it will, and it'll drag you down like an anchor. I know because I've been there. I stay hyper aware of my routines, my sleep, my food, my training. The moment I start drifting away from that structure, it's a hard stop, reset, and back on the grind. You got to grind your ass down to dust, man. I'm talking fine powder. And when you're in that state, barely holding yourself together, you find a way to build yourself back up again and again. That's the grind. That's what it takes. And it's fucking possible. But when you come from a small ass town, a place that tries to keep you down, a place where most people don't even think about getting out, you got to break free. You got to push your mind past that bullshit and open it up to something bigger. Let me tell you, a small town will close your mind down tighter than a vault. It don't do that to everybody, but it does it to most. It'll have you thinking small, acting small, and dreaming even smaller. You got to break that cycle, get out there and create your own open-mindedness. You need fucking space, man. Space to see the world for what it really is. Half the ignorance, half the hate, half the closed-minded bullshit out there comes from people who ain't ever left their comfort zones. They ain't seen nothing outside their little world. And that's why they judge so hard. Their minds are locked up and they don't even know it. I don't talk about being the hardest worker. I just am. There are no days off, not one. The first thing I do every morning is I hit the ground running. I don't care how I feel. It's about building that confidence brick by brick, because every day you're either gaining or losing it. There is no standing still. You think you're working hard. You think you deserve something just because you put in a few hours. Fuck that. Drop the entitled mindset. Most of you haven't done shit. Get up, get after it, and stay hard. You want to know how to build confidence? It starts in that fucking mirror. Every damn morning you wake up and look yourself dead in the eyes. If what you see looking back at you is soft, out to shape, or just plain weak, then guess what? You ain't gonna feel good about shit. That's the truth. So my whole mindset is simple. Get your ass up and go to work. Burn those calories. Get that adrenaline pumping. Wake your mind the fuck up and get every cell in your body in motion. Ain't no sitting around waiting to feel motivated. You create that shit. People think I'm all about the cussing and the tough talk. They don't know the half of it. Yeah, I believe in God big time. I've had that voice in my head since I was a kid, and it's been telling me what to do all along. That voice was my fucking trainer, man. It led me through the darkest times, and that's why I'm standing here today. You don't believe you're here for a reason. Your life is going to hurt. Straight up. But I started to see the pain, the struggle, the hell I went through as something bigger. God or whatever higher power you believe in put me here to go through that shit. Now I see the lives I'm changing because of it. That's real power right there. So I stopped asking, why me? And started looking at my life as the perfect damn training ground. Every situation, every moment of pain, it was all designed to make me who I needed to be. To tell a story that needed to be heard. But most people don't get it. They ain't never been in that kind of pain. When you're in the worst environment, when shit's hitting the fan and everybody's looking around like, please God, make this end, that's when time fucking slows down, man. You can see it in their eyes. They don't want to be there. They're desperate for it to be over. But me, I live for that shit. I see it as my chance to show what I'm made of. When everyone else is breaking down, that's when I'm just getting started. When I started catching on, I was like, all right, let's play some fucking mind games. I'm thinking, you know what? I bet these motherfuckers are looking at us, sizing themselves up, remembering their own hell week. They're sitting there going, I was better than Goggins back then. I'd have crushed them. Oh, okay. You want to judge me? You want to put my ass on trial? Cool, let's fucking go. Look, man, that shit lights a fire in me. They tell you how you're supposed to feel. You're exhausted. You're beat down. You should be quit right now. But I was like, nah, man, fuck that. It's day one, motherfucker. Hour one. I get my boat crew fired up, talking mad shit, getting them all jacked the hell up. I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take these motherfuckers' souls. So we're out there doing some so-called simple tasks, and dudes are struggling hard. I look over at the instructors, and man, it's like someone just reached in and snatched their souls right out. Their faces said, oh, they weren't expecting us to keep going like that. I looked back at my crew and said, you see that shit? We own space in their fucking heads. We're rent-free in there, and tonight they're going to be thinking about us. It don't take much. 1 second of energy to flip the switch, and then you've got all the fuel you need. You just got to catch that look in their eyes, that look that says, I don't want to go back out there. I don't want to take another step. But me, I'm just getting started, ready to fight all damn day. That's what taking souls is about. It's about having the will, the heart, and the balls to keep going when you're fucked up and got nothing left, then giving even more. I'm done being a theorist. Now I'm a fucking practitioner. I put myself right in the middle of hell and start dissecting that shit right there. You can't analyze life's challenges from some comfy 72-degree room. You got to step into the damn freezer, freeze your ass off, and then you pick that shit apart. Dissect your brain when all it's screaming is, get me out to here. And you just say, nah, man, 5 more seconds, motherfucker, fucker, 5 more seconds. That's what it's about, man. I kept throwing myself back into the fire, beating the shit out to myself mentally and physically. And something crazy happened. I realized why most people fail in life. They're scared of what everyone around them is thinking. That's 100% fact. I used to walk around putting people on a pedestal thinking they were all better than me. So I didn't open up. I didn't let anyone see the real me because I thought they're going to judge me and I'm going to feel even worse than I already do. But fuck that. I stopped giving a damn about what anyone else thought, and that's when I really started living. You want to come with me? Let me tell you something, you ain't got a damn choice. I'm dragging your ass with me whether you're ready or not. That's the problem with most people. They're too damn scared to dig into what really made them who they are. You think you're special, we're all screwed up, every last one of us. And that's what makes us beautiful. I'm jacked up as hell, but guess what? I figured out my way to fix it. You're not going to fix yourself the same way I did. No one does it the same way. You might take the easy road from it to B. But me, hell no. I'm going from C to D to E through every pit of fire along the way. That's just how I roll. I train my mind to deal with shit harder than you can imagine. The more pain I went through, the more I learned. The more I suffered, the stronger I became. Until one day I looked at myself and thought, how the hell did I build this? I know how, because I went through failure over and over until I had all the tools I needed to create who the hell I am, Goggins. This is called raw accountability. Not the fluffy bullshit people like to use to make themselves feel better. If you're fat, look in the mirror and say, I'm fat. Own that shit. Don't sugarcoat it. And then go make a list of every single thing you hate to do. And you know what? Start doing them one by one. Tackle that shit. Don't like making phone calls. Good. Make 100 calls. Do what you hate until it doesn't own you anymore. That's how you break yourself down and build yourself back up. That's how you become unbreakable. People love to say triple down on your strengths. Nah, man, fuck that. That works for some shit. Sure, but not when you're scared. Not when you're lacking courage. If you're weak, if you've got some shit you're running from, you better stop running and triple down on your weaknesses. That's where the growth is. You don't like making calls. Good. Guess what you're doing today? You're dialing that phone 100 fucking times. That's how you break the chains holding you back. Look, man, when I was younger, the world felt huge, so many damn possibilities, right? But life, society, people, they shrink your world down. And I let it happen. My mind got trapped, shackled by all this fear and bullshit. I was telling myself, I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm afraid of this, insecure about that. It's like I put myself in a little box, surrounded by walls I built in my own damn head. What's behind me? Bad shit. What's ahead of me? More fear. My life got small as hell because I let fear control me. But then I woke the fuck up. I realized I was doing it all to myself. Those walls, that box, I could tear them down if I was willing to face what scared me. That's when it clicked. I could be a Navy SEAL. I could be anything. But get this, I was scared of water. Who the hell goes to be a SEAL when they're terrified of the fucking water? But that's exactly why I had to do it. I had to conquer that fear because I knew it was holding me back. Now, man, when you quit, here's what happens. Your mind shuts down. Boom, done. No more growth. You quit and your brain's like, well, guess we're not going any further. But if you say, no, fuck that, I'm not quitting. Even when you're suffering, when you're drowning, when everything hurts, your mind has to expand. It has no choice. It's like, shit, we're still here. We better figure this out. That's when new parts of your brain start kicking in. But they don't activate while you're sitting on your ass, drinking water, talking about your dreams. No, they kick in when you're in the fire, pushing past the point where most people quit. That's where the 40% rule comes in. Your brain thinks you're done at 40%. But when you push past that and say, I'm not quitting, you force your mind to adapt, to grow. Eventually, it gets used to operating at that higher level. And suddenly, shit that used to break you, you eat that for breakfast. When you're in the thick of it, that bad time clouds your mind, makes you forget who the fuck you are. So you got to dig deep and remind yourself just how badass you are. That's what the cookie jar does for me. It's a reminder that I've been through hell and I came out the other side. So I know I can get through whatever the hell I'm facing now. I know exactly where I'm at today, but I damn sure know where I came from. And when I look at that, I'm blown away by what a human being can really do. I built this version of myself out of scraps, man. Fucking scraps. I wasn't a mechanic. I wasn't a carpenter. I didn't have any blueprint on how to build a human being from nothing. My mom didn't train me. My dad sure as hell didn't train me. Life didn't hand me shit well. Correction life did train me, but it trained me the hard way. Look into my eyes, man. You see that? You see the demons in there. You see the struggle. People look at me and say, he's got pain. He's got anger. He's not happy. And you know what? They're fucking right. I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. But that's where they missed the point. I'm not here to be happy. I'm here to be driven. I'm here to find that treasure buried deep inside of me. And let me tell you, not many people will ever find it. You cannot live with a regular ass mindset. You have to be your best on your worst fucking day. That's the standard. How do you do that? You don't think like everybody else. You don't let yourself slip into that comfortable, normal mindset. You got to grow mentally, spiritually, in every damn way because nothing feels as good as knowing you pushed yourself beyond your limits. That's where the real shit happens. Here's the thing, man. If you're always taking the easy way out, you're never going to toughen up your mind. You're not going to build any kind of callus around your brain. And that's where I was a fucking chameleon. Just trying to blend in and barely get by. But those people weren't talking about the 1%ers, the people who are so hungry they act like there's no tomorrow. The thing that made me who I am today, it wasn't success. It was being vulnerable. It was breaking myself down to rock fucking bottom and owning every piece of it. Look someone dead in the eyes and say, you know what? I've got character flaws. I've lied. I've cheated. I've been insecure. I'm not the person you think I am. I was faking it because I wanted your damn approval. That's real shit. And people judge so fast. They judge the surface, but they don't dig into why you are the way you are. That's where the truth lives. Everything I didn't want to do, that's what got me here. It wasn't about taking the easy road. It's what you say to yourself every single day. But it's more than that. It comes with work. So every time I got beat down physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever it was, I just told myself, you can't hurt me. Life forged this person, and I had to learn that it's okay. It's not my fault where I started, but it's on me to fix it now. And that's what I did. I built this version of me through the pain, through the suffering, through facing every demon I had. Now I can look back and know that I didn't take the easy way out. I did the fucking work. A lot of this shit you carry around, it ain't even your fault. Why you do the things you do, why you feel the way you feel, that's all rooted in something deeper. But guess what? No one's coming to save your ass. No one's going to pull you out of that hole. You've got to go back to where it all started, wherever that place is for you, and you've got to be tough enough to fix what the fuck broke you. When I was a kid, I was just an insecure, scared little punk. I was weak. But the best thing that ever happened to me, no one helped me. No one came to rescue me from my own misery. That forced me to find my way out through suffering. I had to build calluses in my brain the same way I built calluses on my hands from pushing myself physically. That's what gave me the strength. Deep down, I knew I had the ability to pull it off. But the truth, I was scared as fuck of the work. I wasn't born with brains. I wasn't gifted with athletic talent. None of that. I knew if I was going to get on the same playing field as these other guys, if I was even going to try to make it, I had to outwork every single one of them. And that thought, it scared the shit out of me. So I put it off. I avoided the grind. But that fear, it haunted me. That's when I realized I was looking for comfort like everybody else. I wanted that pat on the back, someone telling me I was doing just fine. But I had to face the hard truth, that mindset, that need for comfort is what was keeping me from accomplishing anything. So I flipped the script. I became that big, bad motherfucker that no one wants to run into in a dark alley. I became my own harshest critic. I stopped blaming my dad, my childhood, my broken life. I looked in the mirror and saw the truth. Yes, some people did shit to me, but it was on me to own it, on me to fix it. That's when everything changed. I stopped being the victim and became the one in control. Ain't nobody coming to save me. No one's going to sit their ass on this couch and say, hey, it's okay, you're going to be fine. Nah, man, I'm not going to be okay. I had to face the hard truth. I had to make a real stand for myself. And trust me, that shit was painful. Looking at who I had become, seeing what the world and me had created, it was brutal. It created a weak, lonely, depressed, insecure motherfucker who'd do anything just to have a friend. And when I finally saw that, I realized how fucking pathetic it was. The truth is ugly as hell, but you got to face it if you ever want to change. I don't sit around talking about how hard I work, but let me tell you something, I don't take a single day off, not one. First thing in the morning, I'm out there grinding because that's where you build your confidence. Confidence is earned every damn day. You're either gaining it or losing it. There's no middle ground. And how do you build it? By liking what you see when you look in the mirror. That's how you kick off your day. You wake up, look at yourself, and if you see someone who's out of shape, who looks soft, who doesn't feel good inside, guess what? That's where the real work starts. But here's the thing, man, most people have this bullshit finish line in their head. I don't. I live by one motto: I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. I didn't give a damn about losing weight or being the fastest guy out there. I wasn't trying to go pro or hit the Olympics. Hell, I could barely fucking read or write when I was a junior in high school. I wasn't going anywhere. But I saw working out as a way to toughen my mind. It wasn't about getting stronger or looking better. It was about callousing over that victim's mentality. I'd watch those movies shit like Rocky, and every time I'd see people waking up early, pushing themselves through brutal shit. And I thought, that looks horrible, but it's exactly what I need. I wasn't doing it to be faster or bigger. I was doing it to build myself. That stuff that looked uncomfortable, that looked brutal, that's what was going to make me. Waking up early, fuck, I didn't want to do it. But that's exactly why I had to do it. That long list of things I didn't want to do, that's how I found myself. By facing the things I didn't want to do, I found out who the fuck I really am. Man, I looked around in high school and thought, these guys aren't doing what I'm doing. They're not getting their asses up at 5 a.m. running on a damn golf course. That's when I started seeing myself differently. I realized I've got something they don't have. And that was the moment I started to separate myself from the average person. I wasn't just working out anymore, I was building something bigger. It was that relentless, never-ending work ethic. And from that work, I developed something most people don't have: real self-esteem. Look, man, you have to tap into suffering every single day of your life. We all have scars. We all have shit we need to clean up. Suffering is like failure. If you want to succeed, you must fail. All the answers you're looking for, they're buried in failure and suffering. That's the test. The test is your life. And the answers, they're all in the pain, in the struggle, and the shit you avoid. You've got to learn to live in it, to visit it often. Most people hate working out. They think I got to do this for an hour and it sucks. But guess what? It's just an hour. You've got 23 other hours in the day where you're not in the grind. But the only way to get in shape physically or mentally is to visit that suffering, visit the pain. 1 hour a day, workout. 1 hour a day, dive into your failures. Because the relationship with suffering is just the answers to who you really are, to why you keep failing, are in that suffering. You've got to go back into your own mind, crack that shit open, and figure it out while you're still breathing. Don't wait until you're dead to figure out why you died. Do it while you're alive. You've got to ask yourself the tough questions. Go deep into the pain of your life and ask, why did this suck for me? Why am I so damn afraid? Why did I shut out the world? And I guarantee you, the answers are in those dark, painful corners of your mind. It's in those scars. That's where you'll find out why you're sitting on your couch feeling sorry for yourself. Man, neglect one part of your life, and it all falls apart. My reading, my learning, my workouts, my diet, if I neglect one of them, it's like a domino effect. You let it slide for long enough, and that shit will come back to haunt you. Suddenly you realize, damn, I haven't eaten right. I haven't slept right. I've been slacking. And that's the kind of thing that will knock you off track. Most of the ignorance, most of the racism out there comes from small-mindedness. People don't get out. They don't see shit. That's why we judge so quickly, so harshly. Our minds are closed to the reality of life, the reality of other people. And here's the truth, man. When you're in the worst fucking situation, when you're in the middle of some shit that feels like it'll never end, you'll notice time slows down. Everybody around you is looking like, God, I hope this ends soon. You see it on their faces. They're suffering. They're done. They want out. But I started playing mind games. I thought, I bet these fuckers are watching us right now, comparing us to when they went through their own hell. They're judging, thinking, let's see how Goggins is holding up. I was tougher than him. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, go ahead and judge me. But here's the thing, man, they try to tell you how to feel. They say, you should be struggling. You should be hurting right now. And I was like, hell no, don't let these motherfuckers tell you how to feel. It's day one, hour one, we're just getting started. So I got my crew fired up. I said, we're going to take these fuckers' souls today. When they had us doing some simple shit that guys were struggling with, I looked at the instructors' faces and I could see it. We fucked with their heads. I turned to my crew and said, guess what? We own space in their heads now. They're going to be thinking about us all night. That's what it takes, man. It takes one moment of energy, 1 second where you steal someone's soul, and then you've got all the energy you need. You've seen it before you look into someone's eyes and you know when you've broken them. They don't want to keep going. They're done. But you're just getting started. You can fight all fucking day. That's what it means to take someone's soul. But here's the real test, man. It's about having the will, the heart, the courage to keep pushing when you're absolutely wrecked, when you think you've got nothing left, and then you dig deep and give even more. That's where you find out what you're really made of. Here's the thing, though, we're all scared. Scared to dive deep into our lives, scared to face what made us who the fuck we are. But that's the point, man. We're all jacked up in some way. I'm fucked up, but I figured out a process to get unfucked up. And it's not going to be the same way for everyone. We all talk about wanting to skip ahead to peace, avoid the pain, the suffering, the misery of real life, put a big blanket over it and pretend like it's not there. But that's bullshit. It's not possible. You have to go into that hellhole of life that fucked you up and fix it. That's what I'm here to tell you. You got to go to war with yourself before you find any peace. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. It's the hardest journey you'll ever take. And it'll make you very uncomfortable. But when you make the decision, when you tell yourself, I'm not quitting, no matter how bad this sucks, no matter how much I'm suffering, that's when shit changes. Your mind expands because it realizes you're not going anywhere. That's what it takes, man. You have to be willing to suffer, to go into that deep, dark place and tell yourself, I'm not fucking leaving. That's when you break through. That's how you build yourself back up. We've got a hell of a lot more in us than we think. And all I did was pick up that fucking shovel and carve out my own damn path. Yes, some people might be 200 miles down the road ahead of you, pushing boulders like it's nothing. But you know what? That's not your journey. Your journey is the one you make every day, digging through the shit with your own two hands. There are days I wake up and I'm like, man, fuck this. Why do I live such a disciplined, structured life? Why the fuck am I doing this to myself? But then I snap out of it and think you want to be normal. You want to be just like everyone else, walking around, never knowing their true power, settling for being fucking mediocre. Hell no. That's not me. That can't be me. People look at me and say, oh, Goggins, you're always running. Your knees must be shot. They think I was born with some perfectly aligned body. Bullshit. I wasn't born healthy. Hell, I got sickle cell. My body's got all kinds of problems. But I made a choice, man. I could have sat on my ass and done nothing. Let life happen to me. Or I could push this body and see how far I could take it. And on that journey, my mind got stronger. The pain in my knees is real. It sucks. But it's been part of my life for so damn long. It's just normal now. I wake up, my knees hurt, so I don't feel sorry for myself. I've trained my brain to say, fuck your feelings. Not literally, but sometimes you've got to push past the bullshit emotions that are holding you back. My knees were fucked, but I wanted to run. People always say, oh man, you ran so much. That's why you're beat up now. You don't want to end up like David Goggins. You hear that shit, they missed the point. I didn't break down because I pushed too hard. I built myself by pushing hard. I studied the darkness, man. You don't find answers in the light, none. The light is too fucking happy, too comfortable. We're built to handle happy times. No one needs to be taught that. But the dark, that's where the truth is. You don't learn shit from living in the light. When life drags your ass into the darkness, that's when you see what you're made of. People ask me, how do you write like this? How do you go so deep? It's because I live in the darkness. I go to those places in my mind where most people are too scared to go. That's where the growth is, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, everything. It's not just about the pain. It's about mastering your mind when everything around you is falling apart. That's where you find the real answers. When I was a kid, I watched my mom get beat. And I took my own beatings too. I was this little stuttering black kid in a school full of white kids. There was this one time I had to say just one fucking line in front of like 15 people on stage. One line, man. And I couldn't even do that shit. I walked off because I couldn't stop stuttering. I went home crying, feeling like, why the hell am I like this? Why can't I just get my shit together? But as I got older, I learned something. You've got to study your pain. The only way out is to go through it. Every time life starts kicking my ass, whether it's physical pain or mental shit, I dive right into it. I sit there with my pen and paper and say, all right, this sucks. My mind's fucking unraveling. Let's study it. Let's break this shit down. The problem with most people is they're trying to shove discipline and structure into a mind full of clutter. You've got a mental garage that's so jacked up, you can't even fit the grind in there. So what happens? It gets overrun by all that fucked up baggage you're carrying around. I got to a point where I was like, this is life. Things fall apart and you've got to be ready to move on. People ask me, David, what if you can't run anymore? I'm like, I'll swim, I'll go. I'll find something else. Running isn't my whole life. I'm always prepared for the next chapter because life can snatch shit away from you just like that. That's when I started front loading. When I was young, I was a piece of shit. I used to tell myself, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. But the moment I yanked my head out of my ass, I realized something you can accomplish a hell of a lot when you stop feeling sorry for yourself and start pushing. So I started front loading. Every time I hit a dark spot, I study it. That's why I do half the shit I do. I'm not out here just winging it. I'm learning every damn day. Back then, I never imagined I'd be writing books or helping people get better. I was just trying to get myself better because I knew I sucked. And when you know you suck, you're desperate to figure out how to stop being that way. I was a born loser and I was tired of it. I take mental snapshots, man. You know how you see something cool on your phone and take a picture? I do that shit with my mind. When I'm going through something tough, I'm like, that's some knowledge right there. And I store it away because I know I'll need it later. Most people go for a run and think, oh, this is beautiful. Look at the mountains and shit. Not me. I don't give a damn about the scenery. I'm hurting. My body's screaming. I'm thinking, how the fuck do we get through this? It's a lab, man. My mind is my lab. And when I get home, I don't forget any of it. Every single day after running, after grinding, after whatever brought me knowledge, I sit down and write it all out. That book, it was written on scratch paper by hand after I came home from suffering. That's how I roll, man. When I'm out there running, I'm not just running. I'm thinking, I'm learning, I'm dissecting my pain, and I'm putting it down on paper so I never forget it. That's how you get better. All that shit running through my head, man, while I'm pushing myself, I'm breaking it down. I'm fucking dissecting it. I'm not just letting it be. I'm like, hold up. That's not the full story. What really led to that? I'm in my own fucking school right now, schooling myself on how I ended up here, how I got through this. I get back, I write that shit down, process it, and then it clicks. All right, this is going to be useful later. And that's how it fucking becomes what it is now. I've done a ton outside the military, man, made money, smashed ultra races, set pull-up records, you name it, I've done it. But when the dark times hit, it's about grinding your ass off. Work your ass off like your life depends on it. Yeah, you might die young, but what if you don't? What if you make it to old age and you've got nothing to show because you wasted the years you could have fucking grinded? If you front load your pain, the back half of your life is cash money. That's what I fucking did. You're alone. Don't fool yourself thinking you're not. You got to shrink a friend to talk to. That's great. But there's 24 hours in a day. And most of that time it's you versus your fucking mind. And that mind is ruthless. If you can't own it, it will own your ass. You're fucked if you let it steer the ship. You got to grab the wheel. Tell your brain where you're taking this shit and how you're going to get there. If you let it run you, it's over. You got to be still. Silence all the bullshit. Cut out the noise. People love distractions. They love crowds, love parties, love talking. Fuck all that. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be fucking unhappy. I put my phone down, go dark, and I find the truth in the silence. That's where the answers are. Life's a damn journey, and it's different for all of us. I'm going to be in that pine box one day, and I believe my spirit's going to live forever. No way all this power just fades out. I want to look back on my life and be proud as fuck. I want to die knowing I crushed it. I used to be a liar, insecure as hell. Not anymore. I want to look at myself when I die and say, damn right, I'm proud of you. And you know what? It's okay to be unhappy sometimes. It's okay to say, fuck it, I'm fed up. But you got to face the truth. Who the fuck are you? Get brutally honest with yourself, man. That's where the change starts. Get to that dark motherfucking place in your mind. Yeah, that place where most people don't want to go, but you're not most people. You got to figure your shit out. It might take months. It might take fucking years. But you got to know what the hell you're here for. What the hell do you want to be in this life? Look, man, I'm always trying to find more of myself. Always. The only way I do that is by shutting the world the fuck out. You know why? Because this world's getting faster every damn day. It's louder. And the louder it gets, the more you lose track of who the fuck you are. You got to go dark, man. You got to quiet that mind. Block out the noise. We love being around people. Love talking. Love the parties, the bullshit distractions. But here's the truth, man. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to feel fucked up sometimes. It's okay to sit there and say, you know what? I'm fucked up right now. You want to get real. Start with the truth. Who are you really? Be accountable as fuck. Ask yourself, what's the truth about me? Then take your ass into those dark corners of your mind, the ones you've been shutting down. Open that shit up. Face the demons head on. Sit down with that motherfucker and say, what's up? Let's talk. It'll take time, months, maybe years, but you got to figure out your purpose. You got to decide what the hell you want to be. Once you know that, it gets easier to accept that maybe you're not built for certain things. Not everyone's going to be LeBron James. But I'll tell you one thing, pure fucking guts and willpower. That's something we all have way more than we think. I didn't get here by accident. I picked up that fucking shovel and dug my own path. While others might be miles ahead, you keep digging through your path no matter how tough it gets. Because when you come out the other side, it's glorious as fuck. People won't even understand how you built that mental toughness, how you became that motherfucker who can handle anything. It's about facing the shit you don't want to face. You keep running from that, how the hell are you supposed to grow? Life's a game, man. One big game, and you got to learn to control your thoughts. If your mind is feeding you bullshit, you got to flip that negative into a positive. You don't want to be that person who dies never knowing what the hell you were capable of. There were days when my self-talk was pure garbage. I had to stop giving a fuck about what people thought of me. I used to put people on a pedestal thinking everyone was better than me. So I didn't open up, didn't share my truth because I was scared of judgment. And you know what? That voice inside my head, it was constantly talking shit. While I was talking to you, there was another voice saying, you're a loser. What the fuck are you doing with your life? This is it. It's like having two people in your head at all times. One telling you to just shut the fuck up and stay comfortable. And the other one, that voice of doubt, never letting you forget where you're failing. But here's the thing, I wanted to be left alone. I didn't want to face any of that shit life threw at me. I wanted comfort. But guess what? I don't respect people who aren't grinding. Not just in the gym, man. I mean, grinding in life. If you're not out there pushing your limits, how the hell am I supposed to respect you? You can't expect to be better if you're not putting in the fucking work. You got to be a hard worker, period, no excuses. If you're grinding hard every damn day, that's where you earn my respect. Now you got a voice that matters in my eyes. But if you're just sitting around talking shit, not putting in the work, your opinion doesn't mean jack to me. When I had to walk, I walked. It wasn't about comfort. It was about constantly pushing. Grinding. That word's not even strong enough for what I was doing. I just kept pushing further and further. When I finished running, I jumped on the bike. After that, hit the pool. Legs felt like they were shot. Fuck it, I went to the gym. I built this insane workout routine, doing crazy volume 200-300 reps of light ass weights, and it became sick. I was doing shit people didn't even think of. It felt like I was drowning, man, drowning in life. You're in deep water, can't swim, no way out. Most people sink right there, but not me. You know what? I didn't just figure out how to backstroke. I fucking learned how to dominate. I've been through 3 hell weeks, Ranger School, faced every damn obstacle life could throw at me, but none of that shit compared to the mental battle I fought in the last 30 miles of this race. That's when I realized we're not just human. We've got the ability to tap into a space most people never even touch. And the only way to get there is suffering, real soul-crushing suffering. But when your mind and body are locked in, when you've decided to pay whatever price it takes, you become unstoppable. That last 30 miles, that was the moment that changed me. I was fucked up, in the worst pain of my life. Thought I was about to die. But I broke that pain down into pieces. I wasn't running on motivation. That shit is weak and disappears when things get tough. I was driven. When you're driven, nothing in front of you stands a chance. I made it personal. This wasn't just a race anymore. This was me versus me. A fucking war. Step 1, get some nutrition in. Step 2, stand the fuck up. It sounds simple, but in that moment, it was a battle. I was barely walking, and my wife at the time looks at me and says, "You're not going to make the time." That's when it clicked for me. I ran the last 19 miles straight, no breaks, no stopping. People hear that and think I'm crazy, but they don't know where I came from. They don't know the scared ass kid I used to be. I found a drive, a fire in a place so dark and disgusting it would terrify most people. But I didn't run from it. I faced it. I wasn't going to be just another guy who lived, paid bills, and died. Hell no, man. I used to spray for roaches, making $1,000 a month, feeling like shit every damn day. That didn't fulfill me. But now I'm after something bigger. I wanted to feel good about who the fuck I was for the first time in my life. And I made damn sure that happened. Stay hard.